on the brink of not only a sweep, but finishing 16-0, winning 4-4-4-4, which is the what? Faux.
4-4-4. Mose Malone, rest in peace, baby.
One more foe.
Yeah, one more foe.
If they do this, Dennis, where do you place them all time in history? Where do you think their place will be among the great teams?
I don't know, Vincent. I think Steve hit it right on the head for me. After they get finished winning, if they do, obviously, you have to sit down and really digest it. Right now, you're in the middle of it. You appreciate it. And for a guy like Steve, who's on one end, 15-3 on that Bulls team, he understands being around Michael Jordan and how great that team was. But I think even he would admit, Brent, this is totally different. The way they play, ball movement. Yes, the Bulls, they had the triangle, and it was great. And Texas Winters made those guys playing with that system. This system's totally different. More talent, more ball movement, more threes, more cutting, not a lot of stationary play. That's why I have to sit back, digest just a little bit more before I start ranking them where they fit, Brent.
Yeah, I think I like that idea, 3D, about just the completeness of this roster and the versatility of all the players involved. You can go back to some of the great playoff teams, Vince, and you always point to one or two players that carried the load for those teams to get to the finals and then ultimately put them over the top. But with this Golden State team, because of how complete they are, because of the assist factor, because of the ball movement, the incredible efficiency, and you look at some of the shooting numbers, this is one of the greatest shooting teams of all time. And then you could go back to the deeper stuff, point differential,
yes,
defensively, field goal percentage against. You know, you start stacking up what Golden State has done, and there's no doubt it's a historically great team. And 16-0, one of the cool things about that is it'll never be beaten. It might get tied, who knows when, if ever, but they'll never be beaten, and they'd be the first team to do that.
First.
And the only thing I want to add to that, Vince, we talked about it last night. Growing up, it's always been traditional basketball, inside out. Now it's outside in.
No, outside, more outside.
There you go. Jump shooting, winning championships. Yeah. That has changed the game.
Well, the Golden State understands the mantle. They understand the moment they are in, and certainly they put together. You have to, with the 3-year stretch, you have to say that they have already carved out their niche all time in NBA history. It's already there for them.
There's no question about it. And if they win 2 championships in 3 years, and you look at the one that they lost, the way that Cleveland had to come back from that deficit, given all the parameters around it, and then you know what's coming still with Golden State in the next couple of seasons. If they're together and healthy, there's more of it.
You know, thinking about it, losing the 3-1 lead, this may be the only tonic or medicine that would help ease what happened. The way they are doing it this year to come back and reclaim the championship.
It would make things feel a little bit better, but I'm sure Draymond Green will still look himself in the mirror and say, man, this could have been a three-peat.
But you know what I'm saying about that method.
Yes, ultimately, yes. I think, Vince, it speaks to their greatness to have that kind of focus and to come back. We've talked about motivation many, many times, about teams having a seed planted from somebody else that bought the year prior and coming back in, much like what San Antonio did to Miami a few years ago. That lingers, and then you come back. This is an exclamation point from the Golden State Warriors.
And the way they built it again, to Brent's point earlier, organically. Think about the 7 franchises messed up on Steph Curry. Remember, Draymond Green's a second-round pick. Not many people knew who Klay Thompson was until draft night. And then you do your homework. You're bringing guys like Sean Livingston. A lot of people thought his career was over. So when you go look at their bench and how they plugged and played, David West was in San Antonio. They said he was ring chasing. Well, Steve Kerr and the rest of that group said, you know what, you still have some left. He's 3 of 3 off the bench last night. So each player, in my opinion, the Golden State Warriors did an excellent job making sure that player and his personality fits their culture.
Well, then Bob Myers goes way out on a limb and goes for Kevin Durant.
That was a reach.
I mean, way out there.
You know, he's a gambler.
That he could help.
He's a gambler.
Come on.
But in mentioning Bob Myers and the unique situation in not having Steve Kerr because of the health problems, Brent, you know this Golden State Warrior franchise better than most. They were able to absorb all of these things that they've gone through because top to bottom, there is a relationship that they have that lets them ease or smooth out any difficulties.
Well, I think it's a sign of great leadership when it is that your leader can step away, but the message never gets lost. And even in the absence, so we had the absence of Kevin Durant with the injury. Steph Curry steps in and does the job. Steve's got to take time off away from the Warrior basketball team. Mike Brown steps in, and they don't lose a beat. It's been remarkable the way that the character of this basketball team is maintained, and the Golden State Warriors continue to play for one another. And if there isn't a direct reflection of that in terms of the statistics, 3D, it has to be the assist numbers with which they play with. Like all of a sudden when it's dire situations, Vince, nobody tries to go and do it themselves. They lean to their right or they lean to the left, and somebody's there to prop them up. And here they are with a 3-0 lead after what happened to them last year. Pretty good story so far.
You know, we've talked about San Antonio, Dennis, over the years, and being that team that they have a system that they play, and either you play and fit in there or you're not going to be there very long. And now Golden State has established not only a new way to play basketball and the standard of which teams will play basketball personnel wise and style wise, but now they also have that type of system.
Brent said it best. We say it a lot. Playing for one another is fun basketball.
It is, and the proof is in the record at 15-0.